USB cables are everywhere, but do you actually know the difference between them? By the end of this video, you will. We've all grown up around USBs. We saw our parents plug their phones into cables to charge, and let's be honest, some of us even chewed on those cables as kids. But USB is actually a newer standard. Before USB became popular in the mid 1990s, computers used serial and parallel ports, those chunky connectors you rarely see today. You might still spot them on old equipment and on servers, but they're definitely not common anymore. So before we dive into USB, let's take a step back and look at what came first. The cables and ports that USB replaced. Before USB, computers relied on serial and parallel cables, like these. We usually call them DB9 and DB25 connectors. The name come from the number of pins. One has 9 pins and the other has 25 pins. These ports were used to connect external devices like printers, mice, and older peripherals to computers. Then in 1996, the first version of USB arrived, USB 1.0. It came with two speeds. 1.5 megabit per second, which was the lowest speed, and 12 megabit per second, which was the highest speed. That was considered fast back then, definitely not by our standards today. Like anything newly invented, early USBs had its share of bugs, compatibility issues, and devices that just wouldn't recognize it. So USB 1.1 was released shortly after. Same speed, but much more stable. In 2000, we got a major upgrade, USB 2.0. Speed jumped all the way up to 480 megabit per second, a huge improvement. Then in 2007, USB 3.0 hit the market with a massive boost to 5 gigabit per second. Suddenly, transferring large files became way faster and way more convenient. And the progress kept rolling. In 2013, USB 3.1 was released, doubling the speed 10 gigabit per second. By this point, USB had completely taken over the tech world. You could find USB ports everywhere, in all shapes and forms, which we're about to look shortly. The story doesn't end here. In 2017, USB got another upgrade with USB 3.2, boosting the speed up to 20 gigabit per second. That's insanely fast compared to the early days of USB. So how do we actually tell which USB version we're holding? In most cases, color helps. Older USB versions usually have a white or black plastic tab inside the connector. USB 3.0 and newer connectors typically have a blue tab, which helps you spot the faster port or cable. Let's talk about the shapes, the connectors. USB has gone through a lot of different connector types. USB Type A, which is the classic rectangular type, and USB Type B, more square-shaped, often used for printers. These were common from USB 1.0 and 1.1 and continued with USB 2.0 as well. When USB 2.0 came out, smaller devices like cameras and early smartphones needed something compact, so Mini B and Micro B connectors were introduced. These are the tiny connectors we used to see on old phones before USB-C took over. Then came USB 3.0. They kept the Type A connectors but changed the inside color to blue to help identify the faster version. Micro B also got a unique taller shape, with the color changed to blue. They went savage with the Micro B connector. They didn't just shrink it, they gave it a whole new shape. Like, wish you the best plugging this in correctly on the first try. Now comes the USB-C, the hero we needed. USB-C solved one of the biggest annoyances in the tech world. You no longer need to guess which direction to plug it in. It works either way. Flip it however you want. Because it's fast, reversible, and supports both data and power, USB-C is becoming the universal standard. That's why we're seeing fewer Mini B or Micro B connectors today. And then there's Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt cables are designed for very high speed transfers and power through a single cable. They're marked with a lightning bolt icon. Early Thunderbolts used a mini DisplayPort connector. Later versions switched to USB-C, but with more advanced technology inside. USB-C and Thunderbolt look the same, but don't always function the same. Thunderbolt can reach speeds up to 40 gigabit per second, double the speed of USB 3.2. And there's something really cool. Thunderbolt lets you daisy chain up to 6 devices. What does it mean? So instead of connecting to each computer individually, you can chain them together and access them all together through one connection. So we've talked about the different USB shapes, Type A, Type B, mini USB, and micro USB. But what's the real difference? Is it just a shape, or do they have specific features that others don't? The truth is, they mostly perform the same job. If they share the same USB version and the same color tab, they support the same speed and protocols. The main difference is where they're used. USB Type A, the classic rectangular port, used on computers, chargers, and hubs. USB Type A, the classic rectangular port, used on computers and hubs. You plug your keyboards, mice, flash drives, phones, cameras, and etc. USB Type B, the squarish connector, which is common on larger external devices like printers and scanners. Mini USB and micro USB, the small ones, designed for compact electronic devices like phones, digital cameras, MP3 players, and portable devices. So yes, the biggest difference is form factor. Each shape was designed to fit a certain category of devices. Technology changes fast, faster than we can chew on our charging cables. USB-C is becoming the universal standard for both charging and data transfer. But who knows? Maybe we'll see something even faster and more advanced in the future. For now, USB-C is leading the way, but the tech world never stops evolving. To wrap up today's video, we explored the USBs, their versions, their speeds, the different connector types, and where each one is used. USB has come a long way from the bulky cables of the past, and it continues to evolve as technology gets faster and smarter. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to share it with friends and families so they can benefit from it as well. See you in the next one.